What's going on, everybody? My name is Dom Mallon, and we're coming to you live with a new podcast brought to you by Bodyslam.net called The Push with the owner, the Jefe of Bodyslam.net himself, and your new host of his brand new podcast, Cassidy Haynes.
Hey, what's going on, man? Looking forward to this, dude. We've talked about this for a long time, just jumping on this and doing it. So I'm looking forward to this, man. I think we're gonna have a good time here.
We're jumping in the feet to the fire right now. We don't even have an intro yet. Let's just
I
come
mean,
up
that's
with
all
one on
right.
the podcast, Cass and Dom. Let's just keep that for like 5 years.
There we go. Yeah. So this will be fun, man. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, well, the plan is this will be the new, like our flagship premiere show for the site for Body Slam. This will be the one where I try to break some news when I have it. We'll have some good interviews. We were going to have one today, but scheduling, that happens. So we've got some plans though. We got 3 lined up for this week. So for the next 2 weeks, we got some stuff planned for everybody. So
Well,
I
and
think
we
it's
and
gonna
we
be good.
got
I think
a
it's going to be good.
yeah, and we got a whole lot to get into for people that are fans of Body Slam that have been following. You can follow Broadcast Podcast. That show is resuming. That's still going on with our boy Topher McCann. He will be resuming False Finish. Also, I'm sorry, Notes on Notes is returning as well, so you'll be able to follow that with their new episode. That's they're back and running and dropping an episode today, I believe. So a lot
Nice.
going on. So you still have Toph and his wonderful mind over at bodyslam.net. You'll still be able to catch that, but this is something new that I
We're
think
gonna go a different direction. Everybody's kind of going to do their own thing here. I think Dom and we have some different plans than what Toph was wanting to do, and I think this should make everybody happy. That way, we got more content, more podcasts, and two totally different style shows is what I think we're going for here.
I was going to say the real winners here, as I always say, are the fans because they get
Definitely,
it all.
they
So,
definitely do.
and I'm sure we'll probably have Toph on here every once in a while as well. But
Yeah, always, of course, man.
in the
We're all a big
meantime,
happy family here. But
in the meantime, we're going to be focusing on a little bit more of the interview aspect, which brings me to the next point that you alluded to a little bit. We have Vampiro and director Michael. How do you say his last name?
it's PASZT. So is that Paz?
I think it's just past.
Paz. I don't know. Hey man, we'll ask him next week, right?
They're both. I'm shocked at how just friendly and accessible they are for how big time both of them are. I'm stoked. I mean, it was so hard to get this interview, but then once we did, it was like they're so friendly. They're so
Man,
nice.
and I enjoyed that doc. And for those that don't know, we're talking about Vampiro. They got a new documentary out that just released like last Friday. I think it was the 4th, September 4th, called "Nail in the Coffin: The Fall and Rise of Vampiro." And man, I watched it over the weekend last weekend. It's fucking fantastic, man. I love it.
So good. It's
Uh,
so good.
I've
And we
watched it
have
twice. I'm not gonna lie. I watched it twice already now, man. It's really good. Vampiro is one of my favorites of all time, anyway. So I was totally marking out for this, dude. I'm super stoked for that interview next week. It was gonna be today. We're gonna do that as our debut episode for everybody, but little scheduling issues came up with them, so we bumped that back to next week. But we're just gonna push it back. But that's fun. The push. We're gonna push it back, but it'll be good. It's gonna be good either way.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that. We also have some interviews that we've already done. Again, you can see that over on False Finish, over on the Broadcast. We've done with our favorite tag team in American history.
Is it American history? Or they're Russian, aren't they?
I mean, whatever. In global history, Koloff.
They're Russian now. I mean, they weren't Russian a couple months ago, but now they're Russian. So I guess we're
Hey,
both.
I'll tell you what. The world can take a page out of the Koloff dynasty's book. Everybody love everybody, and then knock them all down one at a time. That's the Koloff dynasty. The best tag team that people have not heard of.
Love those
Unfortunately,
guys, man.
dude, I say this on Twitter all the time, but every single week that I see Dynamite with Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson, and they're not there with Nikita Koloff, it just gets me so fired up. It's at the point where I'm getting mad. I'm getting mad about it. Like it writes itself.
Yeah.
Anyway, long story short, that interview is there. We also just recently dropped an interview with the new Mecca in professional wrestling and one of the gems of ROH, Mr. Brian Johnson. That just dropped, I believe, last week. So
That
we
was a
have
good
that.
one. I enjoyed that one too. That was a good one.
He's another one, man. He's so good at playing a bad guy, and I refuse to break kayfabe. So he's a dick. But
You definitely. Well, I'm one over here breaking kayfabe, talking about Russians not being Russian and all that shit. But whatever.
but if we were to speak in hypothetical terms, in a hypothetical world that doesn't exist, that doesn't include kayfabe, he would be like the nicest guy in the world. He really is like, I mean, would have been just such a nice guy. But unfortunately, for all of us, we live in the world of kayfabe, and he's such a dick.
Didn't I see that he's alternate for the Pure tournament?
I did see that. Yes, yeah. I'm not sure. Where'd you see that?
I think from the press release that ROH sent me.
Okay.
I mean, so I can pull this up. They sent me one the other day. I'm pretty sure that it was him and somebody else were the alternates, right?
Awesome. I've never felt like such a bad guy in my life where I want somebody to go down or missing, or I want a spot to open up so bad to see my boy Brian Johnson slide in there. But I'm a good Christian boy. I don't want to wish harm on anybody. So
yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm looking for it. I don't see it, but I'm pretty sure I can't remember where I put that email, but I'm pretty sure he's the alternate. So
you know what? I'll reach out to his people that got us the interview, and I'll see if it is true. Then awesome. If not, then I'll just edit it out.
We'll fix it in post. We'll fix this in post.
So,
but yeah, man.
Oh, Jinx, that was cute. We did that at the same time. You see, this
is twinsies.
I hope I don't make Toph jealous because I have such a bromance with him, but it's blossoming every day with you.
Oh man, yeah, I'm looking forward to this, man. I've talked about doing a podcast for a long time, and I rarely get in on it, but I'm looking forward to this, man. I jump on some shows here and there, but to be a regular host, man, it's going to be a new endeavor for me, but I think we'll be good.
Yeah, definitely.
I won't lie. Last year I did jump in. I had a little running show there with Brad, the internet's most hated wrestling journalist, Brad Shepard, and the internet's most hated website owner, Steve Carrier. The three of us did a podcast last year. That was like, bro, that was like a heat magnet.
And look,
it was something else.
And now you're on a podcast with a dude whose tagline is "Everybody love everybody."
Yeah, and then I'm on the one. This is a total 180 from where I was at this time last year, but.
And I feel like you ended last year with the biggest heel bang that anybody could end with. You're 100% the reason why Chris Jericho's AEW championship got stolen.
Man, we got way too drunk. It was a thing.
If we don't have to get into that, you discussed that when we had you again on
the broadcast.
The broadcast, on your debut episode.
I have been making it a habit there over the last year. Since last summer, I went to every AEW super show, pay-per-view, or whatever they were called. Like, there were monthly shows going into the Dynamite kickoff in DC, but I went to that one too. So now I was around. I've been to a lot of after parties with those guys over the last year. It's been pretty fun. I'm looking forward to it coming back. I'm not happy with this situation where there's no more events. I mean, at least they're getting back live. I mean, we got 15% capacity for AEW now, but it doesn't do much for me, man. I'm not there. So.
Slowly but surely, the world is continuing to turn. And just last night, we had a return to the NFL season with live fans. Now, granted, it was a fraction of what you would see normally, but, as you know, we're strictly a football podcast here now.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's interesting, though, because I was talking to, it's different in every state. Like, some are opening back up more than others. But, like, Virginia, there's still nothing in Virginia. And so there's a show being run in Virginia that the Athletic Commission in Virginia actually allowed to happen. It's a deathmatch tournament, and they're allowing it to happen because they're not charging the fans. So since it's like a free show, they're allowed to run, but they're actually having this huge backyard. It's a backyard company that's bringing in tons of wrestlers and deathmatch in Virginia, and that's the only one in Virginia that's going on. So like people are finding workarounds. Maybe they're doing like donations. I don't know, but like I've heard a lot of people in the Virginia area kind of pissy because they can't run a show or can't get on shows, but then there's a deathmatch tournament happening.
I wonder if that's the kind of thing. And again, you're just telling me this for the first time now, so this is all just speculation as far as I'm concerned.
I don't know if anybody else knows about that. Actually, this might be breaking news. Who knows? But yeah, there's
Every morning you get out of bed and you break news before you even brush your teeth without even trying.
Without even knowing. But yeah, I mean, what happened, I was talking to somebody about GCW because they're trying to run in California in October, but there's some rumblings about how that might be violating public event restrictions and how there's like all types of roadblocks coming up from that show. But then you get like this thing in Virginia where they're just going to run a deathmatch tournament with like, we'll just give it away. That way people can come in.
Well, and that's part of the situation, we'll call it, is that a lot of those types of laws and regulations are left down to the states. So, or even more local than that, to cities or townships. So you get to the point where, maybe you're driving in one state and everything's closed and shut down. And then you get to another state and it looks like it's the middle of the summer. Yeah. So who knows, man?
I'm thinking real hard about maybe going up to Indianapolis in October for the collective weekend, the GCW weekends, the one that's been rescheduled from WrestleMania weekend to the first week, like the 9th. I think it's like October 9th. So
that'd be
weekend,
cool.
So,
yeah,
have you seen some of the? We got Joey Janela's Spring Break 4 is going to be on there.
I didn't know if that was combined with anything else or if that was solo, but I did see that
it's
was
a solo show, but it's part of the collective. So it's like it's got its own time slot throughout the entire weekend. There's 8 to 10 or more shows planned for the weekend already, but it's one of them. So I'm thinking about trying to go up there for that, man. That might be my first live event back since you and I went to Elimination Chamber right before the world went into shit.
That pay-per-view happened, and then the world went into shit.
Dude, literally, I flew home the next day, and then 4 days later, I couldn't get a flight anywhere because there was nothing happening. Everything was shut down. So we literally got it in right before we couldn't do anything anymore.
And then we pushed it.
Oh, yeah. That's what we do. That's what we do around here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like that logo? How about that logo, my buddy Will Trotter? So if you guys need logos, graphic works, wrestling posters made, look up my man Will Trotter. He's on Facebook. He's everywhere. He does posters for most of the shows in East Tennessee in that area. He does real good graphic work. Wrestling posters, he knocks them out the park, man. So he did our graphic last night for us. I really like the logo.
I like it too. So as far as we're concerned, he is the best available in the East Coast because I live in Philly. You're in I always forget you're in North Carolina.
I'm in North Carolina, just outside of Asheville, man.
Right.
How can you forget that, man? Home of FTR, the AEW World Tag Team Champions.
Here's the problem.
Even though I think Cash is the only one from Asheville, but kayfabe, bro.
For me, I always mix up whether Asheville is in North or South Carolina because the one time that I went down and flew down to the Carolinas, I flew into Asheville to then drive in the Greenville, South Carolina.
From the Asheville airport, you take 25 minutes and you're in South Carolina. So
right. So that's why if I think about it, I'm like, no, it's Asheville, North Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina. But for whatever reason, I always get confused with that. And I think I relate it back to that trip to go to a Clemson game for my buddy Gallo's bachelor party.
More football talk.
We're strictly a football podcast.
Speaking of which, how about that Mojo Raleigh, huh? We'll tie it in. So that's some football and wrestling right there. Did you see he's the new Retribution guy that Meltzer reported that he was just in the back hanging out during the promo on Raw this week?
I didn't see that. I watched Raw and I saw that they finally they did a promo without really trying too hard to mask their voices, but at the same time, give it a little bit of a.
Did you see where people deconstructed they put it through a program where it takes off the voice modulation and you could hear their regular voices? It's Dijakovic, Mercedes Martinez, 100%.
I didn't want to listen to it.
They wrote Mercedes Martinez off TV. It looked like this week too on NXT. They had her lose that cage match to Rhea, which will probably be her, riding her out, sending her onto Raw. It looks like.
Right. I did hear about that was posted because our mutual friend, really the plug to all of this, Jason Carfagno, the
Ah,
should we call him the Godfather?
no.
Okay,
No,
we could
definitely not doing that.
we could call him Uncle Paulie. He would love that.
Oh, I mean, I'm the one with I got the stripes in my hair, so I'm a little offended if you do that. Hold on. You can see
You're the
we got the zoom look here. I'm going to take my headset off so you can see. Check this out. You see these? You
I
see these
told
stripes,
I,
bro?
I dude, you don't have to tell me. I told you in personal conversation that I'm the Christopher to your Paulie.
I'm not going to lie. I didn't have my headset on. I heard nothing after I
I,
said, you see
I
these
realized
stripes,
that
bro?
as I said it.
I was like, you see these stripes, bro? No,
I
I
said
definitely got the Polly Walnuts look going on, man.
and I said when your headphones were off that I mentioned to you privately before that I'm like the Christopher to your Paulie right now.
This is true. You definitely look more like Chrissy than yeah, you pull that off, man. I think we're strictly a Sopranos podcast now.
But we
I'm
need
gonna have to start the season. I'm gonna start over again. I already burned through all episodes in like less than a month. I watched it all already.
wait the whole series.
Dude, I burned through it already. I definitely watched the last episode of the series. I watched the series finale earlier this week with my friend
You
because she had never
started.
seen it. Dude,
Jeez, man,
I
you started
started.
that like 3 weeks ago.
Dude, yeah, when we did that first show together a couple weeks ago, I just started it and we talked about that, and I've already burned through it. Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah. Now I don't know what to do with myself. I'm like, what do I do? I have all this spare time now, which I really don't. But I'm like, what am I gonna watch? What am I gonna do? Sopranos.
And we were both ahead of the curve with Cobra Kai, so while everybody else has recommended that, we're like,
It's
oh, we already
on.
watched it 3
Dude,
times.
I'm on my fifth burn on that one too. I'm watching it again. That's why I went to sleep watching last night.
And just to make sure that we don't talk about wrestling at all on this wrestling podcast.
Well, this is our intro. This is our debut show, so they're gonna get a good feel for how not on topic we are. So I think
That's true.
this is gonna be a good good way to everybody get their feet wet and put their toes in the water and see where we're at with this show. Because good luck keeping me on topic, man.
It's like it's like a first date. It's like a getting to know you.
Yeah.
Getting to know
Oh man.
you.
Yeah, Cobra Kai. That's been. I've seen more wrestlers talking about Cobra Kai in the last week than anything else. And in fact, we even made that comment on Twitter that we've got more people responding to our Cobra Kai stuff than anything about wrestling, which is, I think it just says a lot for how good that show is. But whatever.
I agree because it was funny. I said it to you, and you said the exact same thing, that you're getting more responses from wrestlers in non-wrestling related Cobra Kai stuff. I think the thing that did it for me was the absolute gem of a performer, Thunderosa.
So
My
yeah,
Mr. Miyagi response, and I
we
was like, dude, she knows I exist.
we got her in the works too. A little teaser for that. I've touched base with her, so hopefully. She said she was busy for the next 3 weeks, so hopefully sometime towards the end of the month we can get her on. So
That would be an absolute honor because I wouldn't even be shocked if she said she was busy for the next like 3 years, given how popular she was even before a few months ago. But now I feel like that she's
got the exposure now that she never had before
yeah.
through NWA and American TV. So now I mean she's definitely probably one of the hottest topics in wrestling right now. So yeah, it'll be hopefully. I mean, she's already said give me 3 weeks. Well, she's busy, so hopefully we'll work the time out. But I'm not going to stop working on that one. That's one of my goals for the show is to get her on this month. So.
But in the meantime, on the books coming up, we have AEW Sensation, and as far as I'm concerned,
star. We're gonna say that future star.
This woman has possibly, I don't even know why I'm saying possibly. This woman has my favorite gimmick for any female wrestler going right now.
Same here. I love it, dude. I've been a fan since the first time I saw her on Dark. Like
we haven't said her name yet.
Months ago. Do it. Say it.
Danny Jordan, baby.
Do it. Spill the beans.
I said
the mean girl herself, man. That'll be good this week.
It's funny. I said her name and then you lagged. I was like, she puts that much power behind her name.
Dude, it slowed the internet down. But no, yeah, Danny Jordan. That'll be what, beginning of next week. So we'll have that out sometime around Dynamite next week. So that'll be the plan for that. I think we got her Tuesday, so we'll try to get that show out Tuesday or Wednesday for everybody.
That woman comes to the ring with a burn book, and ever since then, she's just been one of my absolute favorites. She got feds who oh my god, I'm blanking on her name. The demon one.
Abaddon.
Abaddon. Well, yeah, of course, Abaddon. And I was like, oh man, I know Abaddon's going over here, but she's just got. I just love that burn book so
Uh,
much.
yeah, I like that little short feud they had because they had like a couple weeks of going back and forth each other than their match. So
Hmm. And I don't want to just distill it all down to her gimmick too, because she can definitely go in the ring. But you're right, she is a star in the making. So I'm glad that we were able to get her, so we can hop on the gravy train early.
oh, dude, get in early. Yeah, get in before everybody else does. But yeah, dude, I definitely see her being somebody that they eventually probably will sign long term. You know, I
Hmm.
don't see why not. She's got the gimmick, she's got the look, she's good in the ring, and I mean, you're going to be building homegrown talent. That's what you need to be doing. So I don't see. And they've already started with Anna Jay. You know, looks like Will Hobbs. It looks like that's going to be their next homegrown project. So I see her probably being one too. So yeah, I'm
You
looking
know,
forward to that interview next week for sure.
I got to ask you because I feel like there's so much heat against the AEW women's division. And I don't know. I don't really feel like it's all really that well founded.
I don't understand it either. What are they comparing it to? The WWE Women's Division, which is, I mean, I guess it's good. Why is it good? Because people like Sasha Banks and Bailey and they know the names. I mean, the matches aren't that good, and the storylines are terrible. So, I mean, I don't understand the negativity on it myself. I think it's just one of those things people just like to complain. And
I
the
go,
only thing
yeah,
with
go ahead.
the AEW women's roster, like it's names people don't know. So you're getting all these younger talents, and it's like they're trying to build their own stars in the women's division. So you're getting a lot of people that aren't as seasoned, that haven't, wrestled on TV for, 10 years or more, like you get in WWE. So you're getting a lot of maybe looser and sloppier spots in the matches that I think people are using to, I don't know, to maybe talk negatively about the division. I don't get it myself. I'm not sure what the problem is. I love AEW women's division myself. Like Sheeta's a star. I mean, everybody in that division is good. I don't get it. I don't see a negative on the women's roster, but I mean, like I don't also look for things to hate like everybody else does as well. So
Yeah, and honestly, I think I'm even more into the women's division in WWE than even you are, because I
yeah,
honestly, I love some of these storylines, and I think some of them get played out poorly or they take bad turns. But I uh, I think that the Mandy Rose and Sonya, I call her Sonyas because I love her.
Mhm.
Um, what's it called? I think that storyline was a little bit more played out than it needed to be prior to the
And it got
things that
rushed.
happened.
It kind of ended early and
I was
abruptly.
gonna say, and then they prolonged it maybe longer than they had to for that big match, which then they had to rush. So
Yeah,
it's a shame. But when you go down to NXT, I feel like the women's division in NXT is so strong,
it's strong.
and
It is, but I mean, I just don't like any of the WWE booking. It's so 50-50 and it's so short termed and so just I don't even know how to explain it. Like I don't know, like in Mercedes Martinez, for example, like I was just starting to get into her down there, and now like they wrote her out, they're sending her up to probably get lost in the shuffle on the main roster. So it's hard for me to get into anything down there now. Like, I think that's my problem. Is just I don't know. I like storytelling, and WWE has just done such a bad job for that lately that I just can't get invested into much of it.
okay, fair
But
enough. I
I don't
think
know.
I think we'd have to agree to disagree when it comes to that over the past few months, but I think I would definitely agree with you more over the last few weeks, though.
Yeah,
But we have at the same time. I this doesn't speak to the women's division at all, but since we're kind of fading into storytelling, I love what they're doing right now with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman.
yeah. I no complaints with me there. I don't complain about anything with Paul Heyman, and I don't even complain about Roman Reigns. I thought he was good, despite everybody else's opinion. I thought he was good. I just didn't really like the programs they were putting him in. I think that's not his fault,
Right.
obviously. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do here with him. I think this might be the shot that we hoped that they would give a long time ago, where it's like, all right, he might finally get over and be somebody original. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to this. Let's see how he can do as an actual heel that's not I don't know that they tried to do a heel once. They didn't even get into it. They didn't give him any backing on that. So Paul Heyman with the helm though, they're all in with Heyman no matter what. So this is probably going to be the best thing for him. In any capacity. I think putting Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman together is perfect.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I'm hoping that they really tease it in a way where you're seeing a darker side of him without necessarily seeing a heel Roman Reigns. I don't really want a reason to boo him. You know what I mean? I would like to see him be closer to doing heel things through Paul, but it seems like based on the way that Paul's promos and interviews went.
You hear my helicopter? You hear this helicopter ruining the podcast? Is that loud on your end? I apologize. I'm outside, and a military helicopter just flies over my house with like a couple 100 feet above me. It's like way low, so I apologize for that nonsense. But we'll fix it in post. It's fine.
We're not going to because I'm basically.
I know that. That's going to be another running joke. If people haven't figured that out, we're going to have a lot of inside running jokes on this show, and that'll be one of them as well. We'll fix it in post. So,
yeah.
But I mean, I think I don't know. I'm optimistic about some things from WWE for the first time in a while. So we'll see. We'll see how long it takes them to disappoint me.
Even if I do figure out how to edit all this stuff out, I kind of want to just leave it in anyway.
Oh, leave it in there. I was just kidding. I want you to leave it in there. Yeah, no. But
I was thinking about it. I was like, nah, I'm just gonna leave it in, even if I can take it out.
No, don't take it out. It'll mess up the flow. It was part of the joke. That's gonna be, like I said, that's one of our many jokes that our audience can start to appreciate and incorporate into their own life as well. But yeah, we got a lot of good stuff coming up, man. We got before we plug. I'm going to plug another interview while I'm thinking about it because we got tomorrow. Our first actual interview will be with the handicapped hero Gregory Iron.
Dude, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, man, I love it. Some people might remember him, like I was telling you, that the summer of Punk when CM Punk left with the WWE title and was on the Indies and doing his own thing and kind of bouncing around that summer. He showed up at AAW and. He was in Chicago with Colt Cabana because Colt Cabana was wrestling Gregory Iron that match, and Punk was in the back watching Colt's match, and then after the match he came out and put over Greg for his ability in the ring and what he is able to do with his handicap, and just put him over big and threw the belt on him, and him and Colt put Greg on their shoulders and paraded him around the ring, and it was a pretty awesome moment, and that's how most people know him, but. He's a good buddy of mine, man. I'm looking forward to this interview, dude. He does awesome stuff and great work too. He's such a good heel. You're gonna love looking up his work, man. His heel work right now with 440 in GCW is just top shelf, man.
So, interesting.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting you to say that he's a heel.
Oh, he does both. I mean, he's worked a tag team actually called the Handicap Heroes with Zach Gowen. So, lost my headset. So yeah, him and Zach Gowen did a babyface tag team for a long time, the Handicap Heroes, where it's Zach Gowen with one leg and Greg with his one arm, basically with his cerebral palsy. But right now, though, yeah, he's working a heel stable with Ricky Shane Page and Atticus Kogar, and I always forget there's somebody else in the group too. But yeah, it's pretty fun if you get into look the GCW stuff up tonight and get into that.
Absolutely. That's
my
homework.
We got that tomorrow. Danny on Tuesday. Vampiro at the end of the week. So, man, we got a busy week this week for everybody. So,
very, very nice. I'm looking forward to all of it. I'm looking forward to, honestly, all of it, man. Even just this stuff with you, where it's just the two of us, just shooting.
Well, this is the first of many, man. I look forward to it. So, thanks. I think it was a good first episode, man. I think we did a good job introducing ourselves to everybody, and they got a good feel for how impossible it's going to be to follow us and stay on topic and keep this about wrestling. But that's whatever. It's going to be a challenge. We'll see how we do.
You lagged again, man. You're stupid North Carolina. Yeah, your damn North Carolina den. I'm just jealous because your place looks so much more relaxing than mine.
I went outside to do this because it is a little bit relaxing, and my dogs wouldn't ruin the show by barking and screaming. So, yeah, I came outside, but I got the helicopter interference instead. I had to run in from a some kind of Chinook or something instead, but whatever.
But yeah, man. As long as you're staying safe down there. You want to wrap this up, buddy?
Yeah, let's
I
just
think,
wrap it up, man. Close it up. Tell everybody how to find us, and I'll jump in here in a second too.
well, we're officially on bodyslam_pod on Twitter, and you can find me at Dom_Mallon, and you are at.
I'm at Casshole with 3 O's, so it's at CASSHOOOLE. And of course, you can find bodyslam.net on Twitter at bodyslamnet. Same on Facebook. Find us there. We're on the Instagram. We're on all the social media gimmicks, brother. So yeah, look us up, follow us, and we'll keep bringing you these bangers that we've got lined up, man.
Speaking of bangers, let's take it out with our award-winning theme: podcast,
Yes.
podcast, podcast with Cass and Dom.
Bow, bow, bow.